per annum here. We're in the rain shadow of Mount Wellington. Mount Wellington can get 1.5 metres of rain a year, 1,500 mils. We only get about 685 here. Now, I did mention the irrigation system. Thanks to the hydroelectric scheme where we've built dams and lakes up in the highlands, the water from those lakes will be recycled up to 8 times as it goes through 8 hydroelectric plants and then comes down into the Derwent River. So we do have an excess of water, and as such we have pivotal irrigators now which are satellite controlled, replacing water where it's required on the pastures and fields. Thus we are able to have more vineyards, more orchards, and also start moving dairy cows into the area, because dairy cows do require a lot more greener pastures and a lot more water. But predominantly we still have a lot of the sheep stations here. Now there is a reason why those in the Barossa Valley in South Australia and the Hunter Valley in New South Wales are purchasing land down here to grow grapes. Those vineyards up north have worked out the global warming is having an effect on its vineyards. However, we end up with a longer cold period down here in Tasmania, which is making our grapes ripen slower, which is giving them more fructose or more sugar. Thus, more alcohol content and a better vintage of wine. Now, this is what I'm instructed to say because, being a teetotaler, every time they open a bottle of wine and say, you really must taste this, it always smells like vinegar. And I can't get my mouth around it. So I'm believing everything they tell me, that apparently Tasmanian grapes are great. So what they're doing is, if they're in the Barossa Valley or the Hunter Valley, they're actually growing their grapes down here and then sending them back to... they really should not have guys on the road like that in these zones. Now, the pivotal irrigator like the one on the left, you may want to know why it is satellite guided and how they do it. The farmer sits at his table drinking his cup of tea, eating his Vegemite sandwich in the morning, and he will look at his computer. His computer will get an uplink from these fields or pastures. We have buried hydrometers in the soil. Those hydrometers send a signal back to say, I'm really dry, I'm really wet, and he then allows that information to go across to the program which drives the pivotal irrigator. That pivotal irrigator will move around on a satellite tracking and place water in the paddock or the field where it's needed. Thus, you don't end up with very wet patches at the bottom of an incline or a hill, and you end up with the water on top of the hill where it's really, really needed, because water flows down, of course. So you're not wasting your water supply, so you're not going through kilolitres or megalitres of water. We get cheese off to the left. Nice, it's good, you'd like it. Different. So we're nearly at wherever we're going. We're nearly at Richmond now. Now Richmond, although settled in 1810 when the surveyors came through with land grants, and most of these land grants were for middle income, thus 500 acres plus, or the upper echelons of society, the more affluent, which was 1500 acres plus. Now we really didn't buy land until 1870. All of the land through Tasmania to get the population up was by land grant from the Crown. So even a pardoned convict, somebody who had been to jail for the worst of crimes, stealing a silk handkerchief, would have got 150 acres. So it is pretty good. On the left we've got the Coal River Golf Course. Of course no one's there because everybody's got a boat. This little house to our left here is a beautiful Georgian property originally built for the officers of the troopers or the militia that guarded this area. So it does have convict or probation convict dwellings at the back, as well as its barns and stables, and later became a grazing land. So we're just entering Richmond, gazetted as a town in 1824. On the right we have Pools Winery. Now this isn't a very nice Georgian house. It's only got 4 bedrooms upstairs. Very small. 2 reception rooms downstairs, plus the kitchen's out the back and the toilet's out the back. Not very flash. On the right we've got another Victorian home just down there on the right, and that's an original one. This one at the front's not. And just down through here we've got another Georgian residence. Beautiful old Georgian residence there. Just down here on the corner we have a maroon grey 4-bedroom Georgian. This one sold for 1.2 million. Can't move the bathrooms inside though because it's historical one listing. No changes inside or out. Our beautiful maze going in here. Now you can come back here and do Bonnarong Wildlife Sanctuary or a tour of Richmond. So this is sort of just to brief you and guide you through Richmond. We will give you a quick stop if you need to go to the bathroom or grab a photo. On the left we have Old Hobart Miniature Town, we have Ashmore Bridge, we have the Woodcraft Shop to the left, Lafayette for home decor, 3 levels of Christmas tree decorations in the side bit there, the original Anglo Church. We have the chemist, the Richmond Arms where you would have changed your horses on your way through to Sorrel or the East Coast, the original general store to the left, unique for wool. On the right we have Zeg's Cafe on the right hand side, make great cakes and nice coffee. Saddler's Court for jewellery. We also have the ice cream and sweet shop for those who like to go and say, I'll have 1 green sleeve please. Only 1. I'm on a diet. And 1 minty. Now if you do need a bathroom, just to the left there. Men's are to the left, ladies to the right. Everywhere you go you will find ladies are on the right hand side because ladies are always right. Have you not heard that?